What's up, Cap? You know, we have to go over there and mess with my man Miracle Mike. God bless him. He passed away and stuff like that. It was crazy. And so, I mean, this million. I mean, going to every single record label, you know. And wait, hold on. That's a different side of it. That's that King and I. That's not the Izzy Ice and Majesty story. You know, the Izzy Ice and Majesty story took place from the Edenville Projects things that we was talking about to like just trying anything. Like I legitimately knew Chubb Rock. Shout out Chubb Rock. He changed my life. Period. And he's from the hood, right? So I went to school with his sister, Sandy, and me and Madge was like, yo, we need a record deal, man. We need to do something, right? And so here I am, young and dumb. I'm going to a celebrity's house because I know his sister. But I'm going to a celebrity's house, ringing his bell like I knew the man. What's up? And at the end of the day, he comes out the window. He's like, what's up, cool? You know, I could always imitate you. He's like, what's up, cool? I'm like, yo, what's up? Yo, I know your sister, blah, 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 and the other thing. He was like, yo, so kick something. So I'm over here rapping to Chubb Rock from his window. All right? Then all of a sudden he comes downstairs and he's like, come on in. So I go inside, and then just a couple of days later, takes me to Howie Tee's crib. Howie Tee had me recording some stuff, and next thing you know, his brother-in-law put the first record out, Soul Man. And from there, we never looked back.
Can you give us a timeline? What year is this about?
1992.
92.
Wait. That was King and I. 88.
88. Okay.
Yeah, 88.
So at what point did you guys start really taking it serious as far as getting a demo together and shopping it to labels?
Well, after we did the Soul Man, right, and Funky Freestyle was the B-side, we ended up going to, we ended up getting signed to Jive Records, so we didn't have to shop it. It just, one thing led to another. And then after the Jive thing fell apart, then we were like, we have to regroup, figure something out. How we didn't want to go back to Jive, because it was a weird thing, man. How we, like, Jive was like, they don't like the beats, okay? And it's crazy because that's Howie Tee's beats. He's producing Heavy, he's producing Father MC, everybody, right? And so he was like, yo, what you mean you don't like the beats? And so he was like, we just did a whole album, you know? And I remember that we got paid and all that. And next thing you know, he's like, we're going to just take you somewhere else. That somewhere else wasn't happening fast enough, right?
Right.
Because he had a lot of things going on. And then me and Madge was like, yo, we got to pull another move. So then we started, bless up Scandal. So we started going to different labels, Tommy Boy, everything. Everybody, oh, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is dope, but you need to sound more like Naughty by Nature. Yo, this is hot, but you need to do this, that, and the other thing. And so all of a sudden, this group called Shades of Lingo out of Atlanta, you know, that was signed to Dallas, but through a dark thing. They didn't do the Rowdy Records thing, right? They heard the vibe and was like, yo, what's this about? So I got hooked up. Dallas liked it, you know, and it's a story behind all that too. Like at some point, pay close attention to my first album and listen to a lot of the dudes from the South, from Atlanta, how about they sounded like after me. I'm not, and I promise you, I'm not one of them dudes. It's like, oh yeah, you know, disgruntled and, you know, no. I'm just telling you what it was. Like, you know, look where the slugs at, you know, how I used to run back when. Everybody jumped on that wave. And they ate big food after that. Never changed from that. But that was that whole rowdy movement. Shout out Dallas Austin. You know what I mean? He put us back out. And that was a dope situation because we was around all of the big time celebrities and whatnot. So that was litty though. I ain't gonna front. I'm excited about all of the opportunities I had and been through.
What was that Rowdy Deal like that was so appealing to you guys that you guys decided to go with Rowdy?
I mean, the only thing that made sense about it was the fact that he was the biggest producer in the game. It was either between him and Jermaine. Not that we had an option, okay? But I'm just saying between those were the hottest things, right? So with Dallas, it only made sense. He's doing Madonna. He's doing, probably did it literally, I don't know, right? But he's doing Madonna. He's doing Madonna. He did, you know, TLC. They were good peoples. Boys to Men. Everybody. You know, it was like, damn. So that's like, it didn't make sense to do anything otherwise. Biggest mistake was because we were young and dumb, we didn't get any production from Dallas. However, we still have a classic album.
Absolutely.
So it's like, it's a, you know, from the business standpoint, it's like, how could you be so like retarded? Like, no disrespect to people that's retarded. I love them. I love everybody. But I'm just saying, how could I fit it? How could I possibly be like, I didn't take a record from Dallas, Austin, and be like, yo, that's the next single. Done.
Did Flip the Script make the demo, or was that recorded as soon as you got to Rowdy?
Think about that. Flip the Script. No, that was done after. You know, wait a minute, hold on. Flip the Script. It didn't make the demo. It didn't. There was a song called Mr. All That. That was it. It was that one and like one or two other situations. But Flip the Script was something that was like, we created the studio in Brooklyn. And we did a lot of the album in Atlanta. So that came in after the fact.
When you dropped that as a single, what kind of reaction did you get?
They were like, what is this? You know, the world was like, wow, like, what's this right here? The bass line, Majestic Body, the whole track, you know, and I came through with something different for that nobody was hearing, you know, as far as my swag on it, you know, nobody had that, you know, so it was a good look where everybody played ball with us. The only thing that I'm going to say is this, and this is to all artists, yo. Don't ever like rush to be the first artist. Even though it's a good situation, try not to do that. You know what I'm saying? It happens to everybody. Try not to do that because you're the test tube baby. You're the guinea pig. And so when certain things go a certain way, what ends up happening is they learn from their mistakes, and then, you know, it may look a different way as life goes on. That, you know, like that was the problem. However, I'm gonna say this much. That didn't take place that much in the Rowdy Records situation because we had 3 singles out of the contemporary Jeep music situation.
Right.
You know?
You named the album Contemporary Jeep Music, like you said. What was your thought process going into this album? What did you try to accomplish as your debut album?
You know what? It was all based on the music. Okay? Like, believe it or not, I helped a little bit, just like about 10% with the music. You know? And the thing about it was this. I play the drums. Literally, I play the drums. Majesty is a dope producer. And we liked it to be an instrumentalization type of situation where we wouldn't just take a sample and use a sample. We wanted to break it down and have, like, you know, musically change in the whole dynamic of what it was. So we just said we're going to make it a certain vibe where it's not just exactly the Onyx that was just like, you know, we wanted it to be a little different because we had different lanes we could have gone. And like, weirdest thing was when, this is the name of the game about the whole contemporary thing. When people saw us, we looked different than what the music was, give or take. You know? So it's like, and it's like, you can't hide that you had a certain, you know, upbringing, you know, certain people, you live a certain way, you know? You can't hide that. But we had a whole different vibe and feel. So we named it Contemporary Jeep Music because when you hear the boom, that, the real like, boom, 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 you know, that's like, you know, it's a whole different lane right there. And that's how Contemporary Jeep Music came about.
What do you remember most about the sessions making that album?
Laughing.
Good time.
Laughing. We had a blast. It was chemistry. That's all we knew to do. You know, nobody wanted to do anything else. I've always been a hustler where I always had my hands into like a couple things. I'm still the same guy to this day, right? And that was my escape route. What's up, yo? That's my escape route for me to be like, okay, I could just get away from this, that, and the other thing, and this is, I'm over here penning and making music, and with my friend from the neighborhood, and having a good time.
Tell me about the tours during this time. What were some of your favorite memories and some of your favorite lineups to promote the album?
Well, you know what's funny was like it it would have to be more so the experiences that we had with other people. Like, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn. I'm sitting in the room, ha 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 ha, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sitting here with Grace Jones, ha 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 ha, right here next to me. TLC was my buddies, you know, all types of things like that, you know. So those experiences were bigger than the shows. See, the shows were good, you know, and again, Mad's just killing it on the turntables, and I like to freestyle and get busy, you know. So it was like a match made in heaven, and I would still have to go back to the experiences themselves, just being like, oh, that's Barry White's son, oh, this is such and such, you know, and I'm sitting there like, oh wow, so here, oh, you know, I'm just sitting here getting a beef patty and cocoa bread from the Ave, and here I am right now in a place where it's like probably $1 billion in the room.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. What can you remember about some of the reviews after the album dropped? What were people saying, the magazine saying? What was the overall consistency of the album?
There were a little bit of comparisons to like the CL Smooths and the Rock CL Smooths. You know what I mean? Because like
I heard that, but I
yeah,
didn't see similarities.
I ain't see it. I mean, shout out to CL Smooths, incredible.
No.
You know, and Pete Rock in the same right. But we ain't sound the same. But what happened was like the heavy bottom of the music and the two-man crew. The two-man crew. So a lot of people would say, yo, they dope as hell. You know, they sound a little bit like a CL Smooth and Pete Rock situation, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Were you pleased overall with your debut album? Was there something missing? Maybe a producer, maybe a MC you wanted featured? Can you go back and remember what?
Yeah, I wanted to have my partner Cap, you know, we started the same. I was telling you about it. We got shellacked inside of the battle. I wanted to have him on the album, you know what I mean? But it didn't happen because my boy was locked up at the time, you know, and that was painful too because we all came up together, you know. And the other thing was, like I said, I should have had probably a couple of celebrity features. I probably should have had like definitely the Dallas Austin do some production on that joint. Feel me?
Right.
That's about it though. As far as like, you know, any kind of regrets, if you will, everything else was fire. I'm young, you know, making money. I'm a star. You know what I mean? It's like,
right. Let's rewind just a little bit. What was that Rowdy Deal like? How many album deal was that?
That was from memory, it was like a 3-album deal.
Okay.
Yeah, from memory. Don't get me to lying though. But I know it was for more than one album. The reason why was I've always been about my guala. And I seen the numbers lining up where you get this amount for this amount, and then the next drop off, you're getting this amount. And I remember that there was increments of monies, you know? So it was that type of deal.
After the album dropped and it did its thing, do you think the label gave it the proper push it deserved? And what was your relationship with the Rowdy after the album dropped?
Hold on 1 second. Let me get my lawyer. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm getting my lawyer. Hello? Yeah, the police are coming for you. You know that. They're coming for you.
Me?
So, yeah. Nah, so what happened was like this, man. Like I said, it's one of those things where you can't, I can't really say that, you know, they didn't give me the proper push. They were learning. You know, they were learning. Dallas did everything humanly possible that he could. All right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those sucker ass dudes that be like, oh, you know, if they only did that. Homeboy, everybody's still talking about me to this day. So what else? Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to be like, okay, he's supposed to come to my house and just be like this. I'm gonna wash your car, wash your cars. Come on, bro. Like, nah, he did everything he had to do, and I mean, it was a learning curve.
At this point, what happens?
What's up, sweetie?
what happens to the King and I, and why no sophomore album with the label?
Well, again, I'm gonna probably have to put the onus on myself, kind of like changing, you know, because Majesty remained the same. He stayed in the game as a producer, started doing other things for other people, right? But myself, I was just like, I got so many other lanes. I hate the industry at the time, right? I was like, I hate it, you know, and I don't have to do this to make bread. So I left, you know what I mean? And it was painful because it's like, you know what it is, bro, man to man. No fakeness, and like, you know, apparently I'm an alpha male, but I'm gonna tell you some sentimental stuff.
Okay.
It was like a relationship, bro. It's like
Right.
it's that's a relationship. That's a marriage, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you break up with your boy that you just did this with, did that on a road. You know, we thought we had to thump with other people, all that together. You know, holding them down in different aspects too, right? So it's like, man, when that happened, I was broken, bro. Like, I just got into like I opened up a grocery store, a dry cleaners. Then shout out to my man Perry. We opened up the first comedy club in Brooklyn. You know, and he ran with it. He continued. I left because that wasn't really what I wanted to do. You know, so that was a crazy time.
Right. You talked about some of your lanes. What kept Izzy busy over the past years? And we're going to definitely talk about your new single, Cake Up.
True that.
So,
Yeah.
so tell me what kept you busy throughout the years and to the point you wanted to double back into music.
See, the thing about it for me was like whether I was making records or not, I was still rhyming, you know. And then I always knew that I was gonna come back out. The first thing I said was, I ain't signing to not one person. Okay, that's a funny thing. There's another story to that, right? I was like, I ain't signing nobody because when I dropped, it was by that time it was like in the '90s, going into like 2000-ish, '99-ish. I became a millionaire, all right? And so I was like this, yo, I don't need to sign nobody. And guess what? In 2001, I lost $1 million. So I was like, wow. And I had to reinvent myself yet again, you know what I mean? So that's what kind of kept me busy. I reinvented myself. You know, I took hits, became a massive gambler. You know, it was unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole lot of series of events that led up to me changing and becoming me now. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Your single was Milk and Cookies. Your delve back into music.
Yeah.
Okay, take me back to that moment to where you said, "Hey, I'm ready to get back into this." Take us back to that moment.
It was crazy because you know, I was saying to myself, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do it because I didn't need to do it, you know, for money, and I like privacy. I don't like everybody either knowing what I'm doing, how much money I got, nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody about nothing too much. You know, I'm a personable dude, but I'm a funny guy. All right. So I say that to say this, yo, bro, I almost lost my life, man. Like it was 2016, and I was like, um, I had I felt like something was in my throat, and then next thing you know, I had an abscess that grew in my throat.
Oh wow!
So they went and took it out and popped. What's up, sis? And so it popped. And so the crazy thing about it was this: the doctor told my business partner straight up, if there's no guarantee that they could, you know, make it work for me. They said I either have a choice of either I lose my voice or I die. And I was in a coma for 5 days, bro. So then everybody that would come to see me in the hospital, it's some crazy stuff. They were like, you know, talking to me about music and singing to me, and that's the only thing I would respond to. Everything other than that was like nothing, no response, nothing. And so my partner told me straight up, is if you come out of this, well, this is in my sleep, all right? If you come out of this, you got to do music. And so, man, many people would lose a limb to be able to say that they can make money talking, because I do, and